you will witness true stories.
Hi everybody, it's Sam. If you hear a noise in the background, I'm watching a movie. It's
often sent when all hope for life is gone.
An old movie.
Joan Wester Anderson is an author and
Angels with Us.
Whose best-selling book, Where Angels Walk, chronicles
just about
many
angels.
contemporary angel
Stories about
encounters.
angels. This is my TBR video that I said I'd do after I'd finish. What was that? Dollhouse Murders? Yeah.
Very startling and shocking to me because I never expected angels to be so big.
Right now I am reading something, and I'm just going to show you because Blood Highway by Sheila Johnson. It says a twisted killer on a rampage makes a country road a highway to hell.
Here is a story from Philadelphia of a mother's heartfelt prayer.
On the back, I'll read you a little bit on the back on each one, like I always do. Dead Wrong. On January 23rd, 2000, already battered by an ice storm, the Royal Alabama resort town of Mentone was about to be struck by an even more terrifying freak catastrophe. Hurtling down the highway in a Lincoln Town car was Hayward Bissell, a 400-pound madman on a murder rampage. Ramming the pickup truck of Don and Rhea Perch, Bissell lured Don Perch onto the road, running him down with his car. Dead Reckoning. Bissell next targeted the home of James and Sue Pumphrey. After stabbing James Pumphrey in the stomach, Bissell was thwarted by two family dogs who gave their lives to protect their owners. Their sacrifice bought the Pumphreys enough time to get a gun and scare off Bissell, who didn't know the weapon was actually inoperable. Dead end. When Bissell was finally stopped, the police discovered that he wasn't alone. Occupying the passenger seat beside him was the mutilated, partially dismembered body of his pregnant girlfriend, Patricia Ann Booher, if that's how you pronounce her name. In February 2002, Bissell pled guilty but insane and was sent to prison for life. Was he really crazy, or was he crazy like a fox, turning it on and off to try to beat a death sentence for Booher's murder? 16 pages of shocking photos. None of the photos are shocking. It just shows, it doesn't show any dead bodies or anything like that. It just shows the pictures of the victims. I only know of, if you count the dogs being killed, which I'm pretty sure some people will, one person and two dogs getting killed. I don't know, because I've never heard of this. I don't know if, well, I'm trying to figure out their names again. Don got killed or not. If my voice is low, I've been feeling kind of sick, so yeah, I'm reading that right now. Sorry if I'm just rambling. Okay, next I will read No Time to Cry. It's a companion to 6 Months to Live. Dawn Rochelle has been through chemotherapy, a bone marrow transplant, and the death of her best friend. Now a sophomore in high school, she wants nothing more than finally to live a normal life and be an ordinary high school student. The freedom other kids her age take for granted, taking driver's ed, going to dances, and the mall, dating, means much more to Dawn. But no matter how long she stays in remission, Dawn fears that her battle with cancer will always be with her. Will her past haunt her now when she has no time to cry? That's what that is. Oh, by the way, that was Laura McDaniel's book. Okay, then I'm going to read... Okay, this book was messed up, and I'm sorry, but my sister ordered it, and it was supposed to be in perfect condition, but it wasn't. But I fixed it the best way I could, so... Broken Doll by Burl Barer, which I think I've already read a book by him, if I'm not mistaken.
Personally assure you, I will do everything I can.
I'm just trying to see what else he's done. Yes, I have read something on this. Mom said kill. Yeah, I read that, I'm pretty sure. Again, I might not post these videos for a while, and if the reason why was because my internet got messed up. Hopefully I'll be able to get it fixed soon. An innocent victim, a depraved killer. That little girl there, Roxanne, I think. In May 1988, in Everett, Washington, 4-year-old Feather Raher disappeared while playing outside after dinner. Her frantic cries drew Feather's mother to the dark garage that was home to Richard Matthew Clark. Clark had stolen the child, bound and gagged her, and began to undress her. Only at the last instant was the little girl saved by her mother's desperate intervention. The next victim wouldn't be so fortunate. On the night of March 31st, 1995, Roxanne Doll 7 was abducted from the bedroom she shared with her younger sister. It was not until the following day that her mother discovered Roxanne's disappearance. A week later, Roxanne's raped and stabbed body was found. Evidence led investigator to a man the family had trusted as a friend, Richard Clark. Clark was a petty criminal, jailbird, alcohol, and drug abuser who couldn't control his pedophiliac and homicidal urges. In April 1997, after his conviction for aggravated murder, he mocked and derided the dead girl's parents in a shocking courtroom display. Here is the brutal, heartbreaking true story of the crimes and punishment of a monster who preyed on the most vulnerable victims of all, and of the determined prosecutor who swore to bring him to justice. I did actually read this at one point, but it was so many years ago that I've forgotten what most of it's about. So it's going to be a reread for me, so that. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. Like I said, I'm kind of sick, so sorry. Then I'm going to read R.L. Stine's The Thrill Club. It says they're dying to join. So you can get a better look at it. It's a ghost girl in the background. Thrills and chills. Talia Blanton could scare you to death. She writes horror stories that often give her friends starring roles. Everyone loves Talia's terrifying tales until they start to come true. One by one, Talia's friends become Talia's victims. Is Talia making her stories come true, or is someone trying to turn Talia's real life into a horror story? Can't wait to read this one. Then I'm going to read A Death in Italy by John Follian, the definitive account of the Amanda Knox case, which I've heard a lot about it actually, but I've only heard like very little. I know she was let off. An American college student abroad was accused and acquitted of killing her roommate. Finally, the story of what really happened. Hopefully. And it says 8 pages of dramatic photos.
But she was reluctant to leave her son, especially
a murder that made international headlines. Did she or didn't she? That is the question that riveted the world during the sensational year-long trial of Amanda Knox, the American foreign exchange student accused of killing her British roommate Meredith Kircher in Perugia, Italy. The facts and the truth about this shocking case. Shortly after 12:30 p.m. on November 2nd, 2007, I actually heard about this on TV when I was living in, I think, Oceania, pretty sure. Italian police were called to the Perugia home that Meredith shared with Amanda. They found Meredith's lifeless body on the floor beneath a beige quilt. Her throat had been cut. Cash was missing. Was it a home invasion or something far more sinister? Amanda, along with her Italian boyfriend Raffaele Solicito, I don't know if I'm saying their names right, that's the reason I'm saying it so slow, were both jailed. What role, if any, did they have in Meredith's murder? What was their relationship to Rudy Guidi, an Ivory Coast drifter whose DNA was found at the scene of the crime? Arthur John Follion, who covered the case and trial for the London Sunday Times, conducted more than 100 first-hand interviews with law enforcement officials and family and friends of both the victim and the accused to bring us the most balanced and exhaustively researched account of this controversial case. It's hard to imagine there will be a better book on the subject. The Observer UK.
Once again, that parent-child.
That.
We are asking.
Then I'm going to read another Dear America book. Dear America, The Diary of Lydia Amelia Pierce. Like the Willow Tree, Portland, Maine, 1918. By Lewis Lowry.
Then, as suddenly as he had disappeared, the young boy in the strange cap was back again. And this time Nancy felt compelled to follow him.
My name is Lydia. This is my story. In 1918, as the Great War rages in Europe, the Spanish influenza tears a brutal path across the United States, leaving devastation in its wake. Suddenly, 11-year-old Lydia Pierce and her older brother Daniel find themselves orphans of the flu and are taken by their grieving uncle to be raised in the Shaker community at Sabbath Day Lake. Thrust into the Shakers' unfamiliar way of life, Lydia, a fiercely independent girl, must grapple with a new world that is nothing like the one she used to know. Lydia must work hard, and all the while she worries about her headstrong brother who has run away. In time, and with her courageous spirit, Lydia learns to find the joy in living with the Shakers. Yet she cannot stop wondering, will Daniel ever return? I think I've read this once before. I'm pretty sure I did. I can't remember too much about it, so. Must have been a couple of years ago when I read it. I'm going to read another true crime.
To her son's bedside.
I'm going to try to read that many true crimes. This one's so thick. So is that other one. A Death in Italy. That one. These two are the thickest ones. Perfect Poison by M. William Phelps. Again, seems like I've read something by him. I know I've read something by him, but I just don't know what. You guys tell me if you've ever watched one of my videos and seen his name pop up. I don't know. But it says, A Female Serial Killer's Deadly Medicine. A stunner from beginning to end. Greg Olson, best-selling author of Bitter Almonds. Serial killer on Ward C. In Northampton, Massachusetts, at the Veterans Affairs Medical Center, Kristen Gilbert was known as a hard-working, dedicated nurse. So why were her patients dying? So many emergencies and sudden deaths occurred while Kristen made her rounds on Ward C that her colleagues jokingly called her the Angel of Death. Yet most people didn't suspect that the horrifying truth behind the nickname. The Gilbert's polished facade concealed a scheming, manipulative liar and homicidal narcissistic sociopath. Lethal Cure. From August 1995 through February 1996, Gilbert dealt a wholesale death. Her victims were helpless patients who trusted her as a caregiver, only to learn too late. Oh no. Please don't start skipping.
With a smiling angelic face have been the reason?
Oh man.
Could newfound friend actually have been an angel sent to save Thomas?
Okay, give me a minute, okay, people? I know I have to move the laptop. I should have plugged this in before.
That we do, as far as spirituality is concerned. Now, we might have always known this in theory, but I'm starting to see it in practice.
I'm trying to hurry.
It seems to me that children are born with a certain awareness of heaven.
Okay. I hope too much of that wasn't skipping.
Other angel stories speak of divine messages sent to those in need.
Okay. Oh gosh, now I forgot what I was saying. Her victims were helpless patients who trusted her as a caregiver, only to learn too late that she was a killer. Her weapon, a drug capable of causing fatal heart attacks. But she got away with murder until 3 of her fellow nurses could no longer ignore the proliferation of deadly coincidences on Gilbert's watch. Investigators believe Kristen Gilbert may have been responsible for as many as 40 deaths. As the law closed in, she struck back, faking suicide attempts, harassing witnesses, stalking her ex-boyfriend, and terrorizing the hospital with bomb threats. In March 2001, after being found guilty of 4 counts of murder and 2 counts of attempted murder, Angel of Death Kristen Gilbert was sentenced to life imprisonment. 16 pages of shocking photos. I have no idea what that's about.
Jim had no choice but to leave.
Okay. I'm sorry if that video started jerking and everything. I hope it doesn't show on here. I forgot to plug this in. I thought I had enough battery life on it to do the video. Guess not. The thing was like half full. I don't understand why it drained so fast. Well, I guess I'll see you guys later. Bye. That's all I have to show, I think. Yep. Bye.